In the world where strength is often celebrated but misunderstood, the question surfaces: who then is a true warrior? It's not the strongest, not the fiercest, perhaps not the wisest, but it's the one who stands the test of time, gets back up, never gives up. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Proverbial Mind Podcast. It's your host again, Samuel Oladeji. And today we are going to be talking about who is a true warrior. There is so much information and so much ideas or demographics or definition of a warrior. But sometimes we feel like those warriors' definitions might be far from what a true warrior is. What's the definition of a true warrior? As we spoke in the intro statement, a true warrior sometimes does not mean that you are the smartest in the room. It does not mean that you are the strongest in the room. As oftentimes you see in a fight, in a long-term marathon fight, whereby you have the bigger guy and sometimes you have the tiny, scrawny guy, and you would think maybe the bigger guy is the one who would win the fight, but you end up realizing that it's the scrawny guy who happens to have perhaps more strength or more resilience is the one that wins the fight. Before we proceed further, if you're enjoying what you're listening to now, I'd like you to click that subscribe button at the bottom down there. The red button, hit the subscribe button, hit your notification button, and that way you can be notified when next we post content. Now let's dive into it. Who is a true warrior? If we say the warrior is not the one that's the strongest, is not the smartest, is not the most brilliant person, or is not the one that is the fiercest person in the room, who then is that warrior? Who is a true warrior? Well, when we want to talk about a true warrior, let's look at the book of Matthew. The book of Matthew and the book of Luke in the Bible, it depicts the life and the story of Jesus. Now, this is not to be talking from a religious standpoint. This is to look at the character and the nature of the person who Jesus was when he walked the surface of the earth. Jesus was tested by the Pharisees and so many things. Jesus was challenged and was condemned in some places where he went to, especially by the Pharisees. There were people who didn't believe in him, nor believe what he says, except he made a sign to them for them to know that he had come from God. But what is the important things that stand out in the life of Jesus? First of all, you will see leadership. Jesus was very, very keen in keeping his integrity, of consistency with his character. Many times situations are surfaced that could test his patience. For example, when the Pharisees tried many times to get him to say certain things that they wanted to use against him to get him in prison. But still yet, being the person of who he is, he could discern their agenda and what they're doing based on their tongues. And he knew how to act to put them in their own trap that they were planning for him. Now, that is a high level of emotional intelligence, and that is a key term of leadership. A leader is someone that looks at his follower, not from the standpoint of how can I use these people to get what I want, but how can I serve these people in the best way possible that will benefit them and will help them achieve their purpose. A warrior is not somebody that goes out there to beat everybody down and conquer everybody just for the sake of his own personal benefit. A warrior is not someone that gets his own self-gratification and self-elevation or that feel-good feeling from putting others down. A warrior is not the person that goes out there and step on people and display pride and arrogance just for the sake of feeling good or feeling like as if is the baddest or the fiercest in the room or whatsoever. A warrior is that person that is self-controlled, just like in the term of stoicism. A true warrior is that person that is self-controlled. A warrior is that person that looks at himself every day and find ways at which he can improve himself, at which he can serve his community or our community, at which they can be the best version of themselves every day. A true warrior is not one without purpose. They know what they are after. They know what they want to achieve in life. The Bible says a sheep without a direction is just going to wander around without destination. And sooner or later, you're going to find yourself sunk in the middle of the ocean because you don't know where you're going. So being a true warrior, first of all, means that you have a vision. You have a purpose. Now, on your journey to going to achieve that vision and purpose, you're going to be tested by so many things. You're going to be challenged by circumstances. You're going to be tested by humanity. You're going to be tested by society. You're going to be tested by life itself. But what do you do when everything you ever hoped for goes down the drain? What do you do when you've been trying to get that job or to build that company or to make that relationship work or to make that marriage work or to make that business deal work, and you just consistently being met with failures and rejections over and over and over again? What do you do when at your work you're not being valued nor appreciated for all the things you do and the effort you keep in? What do you do if your co-workers or your business partners consistently test your patience and consistently put you down? What do you do when you have such a big dream and it feels like it's never going to come to pass, where everyone around you does nothing but puts you down every time and condemns you and never believe in you? Now that is where warriors are born. The Bible says, when you walk through the fire, I will be with you. It doesn't say when you run through the fire, but when you walk through the fire. There is something about fire. Fire refines you. What happens to gold? Gold in its purest form is probably not the best thing that you would see. Shapeless. You can't even really define the shape. It's very irregular. But then you see bars of gold, you see pendants, you see jewelries that we wear, and you love it. It looks so beautiful. For it to become such a beauty that you're willing to stake millions on, it has gone through fire. It has gone through refinement. It has been beaten. It has been punched. It has been molested in all sort of way. And then you find that beautiful bar of gold. You find that beautiful pendant, or let's say the diamond. Diamond is formed under immense pressure. In fact, in the original state of what it looks like, you probably would not give a crap about it. But when diamond goes under its refinement process, then you see the final product. Why do we use diamond for the special occasions? Because of the process of what it goes into and the rareness of what it takes to find it. But when you find it, it's so precious that we spend hundreds and thousands of dollars just to get it. But diamond would not be diamond without going through fire, without going through pressure, without going through refinement. That is where warriors are being built. The challenges you face in life, the failures you face in life, the rejections, the tough marriage, the annoying co-workers, the bad business partner, everything that tests your patience and tests you and challenges you, those are what forms you to be a true warrior. Now, you becoming a true warrior through those circumstances and situations depends on your responses to them. How do you respond to these situations? How do you act? When your coworkers annoy you, do you just go off and beat the crap out of the person, or when your marriage goes was not your relationship is not going right, do you just quit and say you're done and you're not dealing with this anymore? Never find a way to try to fix it. Or when your dream looks so big that it seems impossible, do you just say, all right, I'm done with this, I'm tired, and you just quit and let atrophy take you out? Or do you persevere through? Do you go in your secret place and evaluate yourself, evaluate the journey, and re-strategize? Do you pay back hatred with love and kindness? Do you pay back agony with patience and with grace? Do you pay back injustice with mercy and constructive criticism to correct, not out of a judgmental aspect, but for the goal of rebuilding a new, better human? Those are the qualities that builds a warrior. The warrior never loses control of himself or herself. The warrior never outbursts in disgust or outbursts in lack of self-control and lack of emotional intelligence and misbehave anyhow and go out of emotion and destroy things. They say you can build a character in 20 years but destroy it in 1 minute. A warrior is not the person that gives up anytime life faces him or her with challenges. A warrior perseveres through the storm. When you want to look at the life of a warrior, look at an eagle. When eagles are about to die at some point in their life, they have two choices. It's either they take themselves through the pain of rejuvenating their soul and their body and their beak and wing and all that, or they just sit down there in self-pity and regret and just die. But they choose the former. They take the pain, the journey that least pursued by majority. They go through the suffering and the pain and everything, and then they buy themselves many more layers of life on earth. Sometimes being a true warrior means opting to go through the pain, not going through the easy route. Not because you're foolish, but because you know that there are two rewards. That is a reward of regret and a reward of success. What you're putting away today might come back to haunt you tomorrow. So as a true warrior, you see the challenge, you see the journey, you don't back down, you don't run away, but you face it with grace. Not by beating yourself up or being too hard on yourself, but by understanding when to take a break, re-strategize, and to go back up. In a nutshell, the key theme is that true warriors never ever give up on life, on their dreams, on their relationships, or whatever it is that is of so much substance and important to you that you are pursuing. A true warrior never ever gives up. It doesn't matter what life may throw at you. Within you is the ability to overcome anything. Just about anything. When you look at the ancient days, our fathers in the 1800s, look at how they survived the storms and the challenges and everything that they went through. And look at we humans today. We cannot even face a quarter of what our people, of our ancestors faced in the years past. But they give you a grasp of what the human spirit is capable of doing. Now, whether you unlock that aspect of you depends on your mind. Depends on your belief and your faith in yourself. But your mind is the powerhouse to unleash possibilities in your life. The battle is always first won in your mind. But when you give up in your mind, you lost the battle already. There's a saying that when you have a problem and you can picture the solution in your mind, you have solved the problem 50% already. The remaining 50% is just a matter of putting the visual representation of that belief into action and then finding your way to the finish line of the solution. So, friends, no matter what you may be going through now, learn from the true warrior and the overcomer that takes the lie the path, not the one of least resistance, but the path often less followed by many, because that is often the path that leads to life. In the Bible, Jesus says that the wide gate leads to death, but is the path almost followed by people because it's the path of least resistance. But the narrow way, most less followed by people, is what leads to life. So as a true warrior, you know your path is not in the path of every other person. It's the path less followed. The path of patience, the path of self-development, the path of love, the path of kindness, the path of empathy, the path of care, the path of servant leadership, the path of resilience, the path of spiritual and mental fortitude and growth, the path of not giving up. That is your path as a warrior. That no matter what you face in life, that no matter what you come across in your way, they were never there to put you down. They were never there to destroy you. They were there to build you. They were there to bring out that great champion that you are, to bring out that great overcomer that is hidden inside you. And that is where you become a true warrior. And that is it, guys. Summary: who is a true warrior? True warrior is the one that doesn't give up, no matter what they face. True warrior is the one that doesn't lose control of themselves, regardless of the situation. True warrior is the one that exercises self-control, patience, kindness, and love, and consistency in their actions and characters, no matter what they have been faced with, no matter what they might face or they have to put up with other people. A true warrior is the one that knows when to set boundaries, healthy boundaries, but not disrespect others, but treat others with care, love, respect, while still also respecting themselves, and not being a punch bag for others to just throw around. A true warrior is the one with high level of emotional intelligence and self-control. You don't have to be the smartest, you don't have to be the strongest, you just have to have that spirit of endurance and resilience, and then you find yourself as a champion and as a winner in the finish line. If you ever sometimes want to hit that person back, want to quit and want to give up, remember that then you're giving up on being a true warrior. But if you really want to wear the badge of a warrior, then no, giving up is not your option, but fighting and persevering to the end, that is your path. Jesus was the warrior of peace. If you want to learn more ways to level yourself up as a warrior, read the book of Matthew and study the life of Jesus. Read the story of Solon, who was one of the elders of Athens in those days. These are people that depict and show the life of a true warrior. And that is it, Proverbial Minds. If you ever want to wonder what this podcast is all about, because it's your first time, look into our channel and visit our inaugural episode to understand the mission that we are here to achieve in your life. And if you ever have a testimony, questions, partnership, whatsoever, reach out to us at proverbialminds@gmail.com. We are here to help you through the journey of life. And the only way you can help us to do that and to touch many other people's life is to hit that subscription button down there, notification button, and like our videos. And share this video with your loved ones and friends. And until the next one, guys, peace out.